Hello and welcome. Having launched the online registration portal for stakeholders in the maritime sector late last year, promoting and ensuring total compliance has become a task Nigerian Shippers Council is taking very seriously. To this end, the council, through its Kano office, held a sensitization program in the ancient city. This will be the focus on today's episode of your favorite maritime program on television. Also on the program, we'll bring you highlights from the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, where the Honorable Minister Adegboyega Oyetola received members of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies and shared the story behind the resolution of the long-standing Apapa gridlock. We will not be leaving out our Titbit segment, which Idowu Ogungbemi will anchor, bringing you information and news on happenings in the local and international maritime scenes. Do sit back and get comfortable as we go on a short break.
For more than 5 decades, we have empowered and protected the interests of shippers in the nation's maritime industry. Our focus is to facilitate trade, regulate tariffs and rates, as well as handle shippers' complaints on cargo losses, damage and non-delivery. We offer dispute resolution mechanism for shipping and trade disputes between shippers and service providers. We are Nigerian Shippers Council, Nigeria's port economic regulator, your gateway to a thriving maritime sector. Nigerian Shippers Council will meet you at the port of your need.
Welcome back. You are watching The Shipper, a program which x-rays goings-on in the nation's maritime sector and is proudly brought to you by Nigerian Shippers Council, the nation's port economic regulator. My name is Abike Idowu. Launched in 2013, the online portal is a means by which adequate information and data on regulated port service providers such as freight forwarders, truckers, seaport terminal operators, stevedoring companies, shippers, off-dock terminal operators, barge operators, and a host of other players in the maritime sector can be compiled and effectively managed. Sensitization has since been ongoing to compel stakeholders in the nation's ports to register. Let's now join Lucy Iyambi as she presents the report as compiled by the Shippers Correspondent.
At a one-day sensitization program on the regulation of port service providers held in Kano, the Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Dr. Pius Akuta MON, represented by Deputy Director Stakeholders Services Hannah Adaba, warned stakeholders about impending sanctions. These include withdrawal of the Council's services from defaulters, cancellation of registration certificates, licenses to operate at Nigerian ports, denial of access to the Council's complaint resolution mechanism, and blacklisting, amongst others. These consequences, she said, can be avoided by simply registering through the online portal, which aligns with the Council's transition into the Nigerian Port Economic Regulatory Agency, NEPRA. As an online platform, the portal effectively eliminates bottlenecks and makes all processes seamless once all required documentation and payments are submitted. She added that the system will also support the implementation of the International Cargo Tracking Note (ICTN) as a strategic tool to enhance cargo monitoring, improve revenue collection, curb under-declaration, and strengthen national security in trade.
The Nigerian Shippers Council remains committed to its role as the port economic regulator. and is actively pursuing its transition into the Nigerian Port Economic Regulatory Agency, NIPERA. In line with this vision, we have intensified efforts to promote efficiency, transparency, and compliance in the port and shipping sector. A critical part of this effort is the mandatory registration of all regulated port service providers and users in accordance with Part 2, Section 4.1 of the Port Economic Regulation 2015. The implementation of the online registration portal represents a significant milestone in our journey towards digital transformation and enhanced trade facilitation. The Nigerian Shippers Council will continue to engage stakeholders, enforce compliance, and advocate for an efficient, transparent, and competitive maritime industry.
The Director and Northwest Zonal Coordinator, Alhaji Ahmed Yaza, in his remarks, commended the leadership of Dr. Akuta, stating that it has led to improved port efficiency, reduced delays, curtailed unwholesome practices, and facilitated the recovery of substantial sums for both individuals and corporate entities. He urged stakeholders to share ideas and suggestions that could help the Council improve its regulatory functions.
The main purpose of organizing the Stakeholders Registration Sensitization Forum is to give you the opportunity to understand the processes, procedures, and benefits you stand to gain as a registered stakeholder. One is education and enlightenment. Just like what we have done now, we are trying to create an enlightenment of how you can undergo your business with respect to shipping and transportation, both local and international. So providing this information is also what we mean by education and enlightenment. We create more enlightenment. This is just part of what we're doing. The next is advocacy services. That is provision of alternative dispute resolution. We try as much as possible as an institution which has been empowered as a port economy regulator to come in between the shipper and the clearing and forwarding agent and the shipping companies.
Director, Consumer Affairs Department, Celestine Akujobi, in an interview, explained the rationale behind holding the program in Kano and outlined the various facilities in the state that support stakeholders. He emphasized that the portal allows users to register and receive their certificates without human intervention once all relevant documents are provided. He therefore encouraged all stakeholders to complete their registration promptly.
The workshop is a sensitization, registration of regulated service providers and users. It's an online platform that the Shippers Council developed to register all providers of services and users. And when we talk of the users, we are talking of the importers and exporters and any other user of port service at the ports. So in line with our regulatory function and mandate, we are asked to ensure that we know all the people who operate in our port system. We have to register them in order to avoid the issue of fake shippers and the issues of various challenges that we have at the port. There are people that carry out the various activities at the port, and when you want to get hold of them to know who they are, it's not possible for you to get them. We equally have importers. We have what we call fake importers. We have fake exporters too. But through this registration, we're able to know who is who are those people who are genuine that are operating in our port system. And that is exactly what we are doing today. So that we can now, like every other country, say, yes, this is a shipper. This is not a shipper. This is a service provider. And it will only help the government, especially the Port Economic Regulator, that the Shippers Council, to maintain sanity in our port system, just like other ports in the world. And the beauty of the platform is that we made it an online platform. It's highly interactive. You don't need to visit any Shippers Council office to register. You can register from your office. The necessary payment that you are supposed to make, you can do that from your office. You don't need to go to the bank. Everything is digitalized. And don't forget, Shippers Council is a trade facilitator. It's one of the major agencies that have been calling for removal of human interface in our port system in order to curb the issue of corruption.
Deputy Director, Information and Communication Technology Department, Benjamin Irigwe-Weta, gave a presentation outlining the step-by-step process for using the online registration portal.
Getting access to the portal is enabled for mobile devices. So you don't just need a laptop. You can even do it from your phone and register. All you need to know is the URL, which is all you just know registration. Then the other one is our domain name, registration.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. When you log into the portal, you fill in your details. Then you come here, you log in, you select the application type. You select new application type. Now, on this drop down here, there are different categories of registration depending on your line of business. Once you click it, you select from this drop down menu your category of registration. There are a number of them there. Whether you are a freight forwarder, whether you are a cargo consolidator, they are all here. You select it and you go to the next place. You must do some payments. We are going to go to it. After you fill in your details, you pay, then attach supporting documents. The registration process is completed. Now you have the dashboard. Now this dashboard is interactive. It will tell you about the status of your registration. Like what you see here, it tells you how many applications are your company name will show here. Like this one is Sheriff and Sons Limited. This is the number of application processing, the number of applications you have sent in. This is the one that is on processing. This is the total number of certificates issued. Then expiration. Now your application will expire every 1 year. So here it will be counting the number of days that is left for you to renew your application.
Stakeholders applauded the Nigerian Shippers Council for organizing the sensitization program and offered suggestions on key areas within the shipping process that require further attention for improved efficiency.
The idea that was brought is to ease registration and possibly links of complaining to the Nigerian Shippers Council for all operators, and also to ensure that they have documents of others who operate within the port, which I think is a very good milestone. It makes it easier from the comfort of your office. You can register and make payments as a regulated port user.
Very easy for people who wants to register at the moment, and it makes it very comfortable for them.
We are happy that Nigerian Shippers Council always come with a program at the right time, which will give an opportunity for the regulatory port users to understand the processes that are involved in registration at the ports. It's a welcome idea, and it has given us an insight into how the registrations will be made. Before the coming of this sensitization, a lot of people, especially at this part of Nigeria, we have been looking forward to how we can understand the processes involved in the registration. And with this sensitization, we have now clearly seen how easily the registrations can be made by each of the service providers and the end users.
This forum is a welcome development, more especially now that the state government is on a move to establish Ministry of Maritime Affairs in the state. So we welcome this development, and we are really going to put ourselves together to pick on what we have heard from the seminar, so that at least we can go back and articulate our proposal and forward it to the governor, and also make sure that our businessmen in Kano State benefited from what we had here in the forum. We are trying to make sure that put up the relevant departments that are going toward achieving establishment of the ministry, more especially the area of bounded terminal, which is the most important aspect that has to do with the business and their good relationship with the Shippers Council.
The world constantly is just moving towards more and more digitalization. So the more that we know, and the faster that we get into this within this country, the easier it will be for people to be able to get into this more and more and more. Not to mention how seamless it is as well. The more people that are able to do it online, the easier it is for them. If you don't need to go to the office, that's better for you because you get to invest more of your time elsewhere.
What we have learned here is going to be disseminated for use to our prospective and other clients on the need for them to imbibe this and then to harness this. Most importantly is the fact that we targeted our women population to be actively involved in export. As you know, in our own tradition, most of our women are at home. Now, rather than sitting at home idle, as an academy, we have programs for them on export. And then this is part of it. They will be at home, they have their system, they will be controlling the activities of their husbands. So this is where our wives are coming in to assist and facilitate, so that for business continuity, this is a necessity for us.
It will help in trade facilitation. It will help in having a central data, whereby if you want to have a statistics, when going through the single window, you can have it at once.
As part of the Council's mandate, this forum and its focus remain ongoing initiatives aimed at developing a comprehensive database of all port users and operators. This will help the Council identify gaps, enhancing planning and ease import-export procedures, positioning Nigeria's maritime sector as a vital revenue-generating arm of the government and a prominent global maritime hub.
And so you have it. The drive to identify and compile a database of all port users and operators will definitely go a long way towards enhancing efficiency and planning. Visit the portal today and get your registration done to avoid sanctions. Let's now turn to the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, where the Honorable Minister recently shed light on one of the most significant port access reforms in recent history. Resolving the Apapa gridlock, once a national symbol of inefficiency, has become a defining achievement for the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. While receiving Study Group 4 of the Senior Executive Course 47 from the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Honorable Minister Adegboyega Oyetola, CON, reflected on the crisis that crippled port operations for over 2 decades. He described the gridlock as a product of entrenched interest and institutional failure. Tackling it, he explained, took interministerial cooperation, courage, and the political will to implement lasting reforms. With the support of the Federal Ministry of Works, the Lagos State government, and other stakeholders, access roads were rehabilitated, illegal structures dismantled, and a digital truck scheduling system introduced. Today, haulage costs have dropped by 60%, truck movement is streamlined, and operations at Apapa Port are far more efficient, marking a turnaround that reflects the ministry's reform-driven approach. From infrastructure upgrades to digital solutions, the journey to a smarter, more efficient port system is clearly underway. Let's now join Ido Ogungbemi for this week's Tidbit segment with updates from the local and international maritime scenes.
Hello and welcome to the Tidbit segment on the Shipper. I am Idowu Ogungbemi and I will be your guide as we navigate the latest trends, key updates and interesting stories shaping the maritime industry. Stay with us, it is a voyage you won't want to miss. Let's get started. Learning and Development Division of the Nigerian Shippers Council recently held a 3-day training program for its management team to enhance leadership capabilities and drive organizational excellence. The training themed strategic productivity, enhanced performance and strategic management was held at the Council's headquarters in Lagos. The program was designed to equip participants with advanced strategies to boost productivity, improve operational efficiency, and enhance team performance. Key focus areas include decision-making tools, goal alignment techniques, and strategic frameworks aimed at ensuring each department contributes effectively to the Council's long-term vision.
So some of the key things that we try to drive is a cultural change, because we understand that, people are part of the system and they are the ones that basically make up the system. So when there's that cultural change, there's that innovation that exists in their minds, then it's easy for them to, push for more innovative ideas that can move their organization forward. So right now we're trying to also push for more collaboration and teamwork amongst, within the organization, and also interagency collaboration that would also drive change, and also to improve on participation of the younger ones, because we know this is a technologically driven era that we're in, and most people are, they are aging fast, they are close to retirement. So when the younger ones are more involved in these processes, then you can guarantee that, it's not just secured for now, but you're also positioning the organization for the future, and you have people who have been equipped with not just the knowledge, but with the skills to be able to drive change even in the the distant future and be relevant globally.
The Deputy Director, Learning and Development of the Council, Egbosumba Cynthia, said the initiative reflects NSC's commitment to leadership development and fostering a culture of continuous improvement, and encouraged the participants to effectively utilize tangible outcomes of the training.
Knowledge is very important. When you have knowledge on any issue or on any task, that task is half solved. So that's why we keep on training and retraining officers. We do not assume, because assumption is the absence of knowledge. You do not assume that they should know. But when we have brought this knowledge to them, they can put those knowledge to use, then of course results will be inevitable.
Other participants also spoke on the training, as it is vital to translating insight into tangible outcomes for their teams and the organization as a whole.
Starting point is the self-efficacy, which is very, very key. That's my biggest takeaway from this program. And I think we have this thing to cut across every strata of the workforce, because that is the starting point for us to be aware, that we are able and capable of doing the duty that's been given us to perform.
From the training, we learned that a strategic leadership is about using scientific tools to apply in your leadership skills for efficiency. Is your ability to other people's decisions.
We encourage you to follow our social media pages at NG Shippers on Facebook, Instagram, X and YouTube for more of our latest updates, events and information. Let's take a look at our complaint register for the week. Nigerian Shippers Council has received 5 complaints. While 3 of these complaints have been resolved, 2 are still ongoing. These include issues with late delivery of a container, conspiracy and forgery, wrongful deduction of container deposits, refund stoppage and demurrage waiver. We encourage stakeholders to visit our website at www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng for more information or to lodge their concerns. Now, let's switch our focus to the international maritime news. French shipping and logistics company CMA CGM Group has welcomed the arrival of CMA CGM Victoria, the first India-flagged container ship registered by a major foreign carrier at Avasheva Freeport Terminal. CMA CGM Victoria serves India on the group's biggest network, one of the most comprehensive offers of direct links between India, the Gulf and the Red Sea, performing weekly calls from Avasheva and Mundra. In addition to its first local flag registration in India, CMA plans to register 3 more vessels in the coming months, underscoring its commitment to India and its ambition to further develop its presence in the country. CMA has also become the first foreign shipping line to register a containerized vessel in the Gujarat International Finance Tech City, a financial center and a special economic zone in India. India is said to be a strategic country for the CMA, which intends to actively contribute to the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor. With a 34-year presence in India and a workforce of 17,000 employees, CMA is said to play a key role in connecting the country to the rest of the world through 19 weekly maritime services. In addition to its shipping operations, the group is actively developing port infrastructure in India, thanks to strategic investment in terminals located at Avasheva Freeport, near Mumbai, and at Mundra Port. And that concludes this week's edition of Tidbit on the Shipper. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next week with more insights from the maritime world.
For more than 5 decades, we have empowered and protected the interests of shippers in the nation's maritime industry. Our focus is to facilitate trade, regulate tariffs and rates, as well as handle shippers' complaints on cargo losses, damage and non-delivery. We offer dispute resolution mechanism for shipping and trade disputes between shippers and service providers. We are Nigerian Shippers Council, Nigeria's port economic regulator, your gateway to a thriving maritime sector. Nigerian Shippers Council will meet you at the port of your need.
We have arrived at that point where our journey ends for today. Hoping you've been adequately informed, as is our objective. We shall be expecting you next time while wishing you fair winds and calm seas in your week ahead. Do have a great week ahead. Goodbye.